We've got a developing story out of India, and there's been an attack in the northern state of Punjab. Gunmen opened fire at the Air Force base in Panthakot. Now, witnesses say that the gunfire is now over. It's thought that at least 2 fighters and 2 soldiers have been killed. The area, however, remains on high alert.
After a police officer's car was hijacked yesterday and today's attack, a red alert has been issued across Punjab. We have barricaded the roads and are checking vehicles.
Faiz Jamil has this update now from New Delhi.
Security officials say the attack began at about 3:30 this morning local time when a group of attackers entered using an official vehicle into the main outer part of the base. Now, the attackers have been contained to the outer part of the base. They haven't gone inside where all the helicopters and planes are stored. But we haven't actually heard much gunfire in the last hour or so, suggesting that things might be died down or there could be at a standstill for the moment. There was a vehicle stolen and a senior police officer on Thursday evening was kidnapped for a short time. And that alerted intelligence agencies and brought a lot of more paramilitary troops to the area who were actually combing the area when the attack took place. And security agencies have actually been on alert since last week when India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi made a surprise visit to Pakistan's Prime Minister in Lahore. Since then, since that diplomatic overture, there has been fears of an attack from certain armed groups that would try to derail a peace process.
Let's take you back to our top story now, and that is the attack on an Air Force base in northern India. And we do have with us Uday Bhaskar, who is the director of the Society for Policy Studies. He joins us live now from New Delhi. Thank you very much, Mr. Bhaskar, for being with us. Now, let's look at the facts of this particular attack. Now, it targeted an Indian Air Force base. It happened very close to the Jammu and Kashmir border. It comes a week after the leaders of Pakistan and India met. Now, what do you think would be the motive behind this attack?
The motive to my mind is to disrupt the current traction as far as the India-Pakistan bilateral relationship is concerned. Prime Minister Modi's visit to Lahore on Christmas Day introduced a certain degree of optimism about India and Pakistan and their bilateral engagement. And we've had a similar pattern in the past where those groups and constituencies that are against any improvement in the bilateral relationship play the terror card. So I see the attack on the Pathankot airbase as part of this pattern.
Explain to us then, why would whoever conducted this attack want to disrupt these warming ties between India and Pakistan? And do you have any indication as to who might be responsible for the attack?
Well, the second part, I'd just like to say that at this stage, there is a fair amount of speculation and conjecture about the identity of this particular terror group. Some of the perpetrators have been neutralized, and while we are awaiting a more official statement about the linkages, to me as an analyst, I would say that the probability that the perpetrators are linked to one of the better known terror groups that have targeted India over the last decade is fairly high. Now, there are a couple of groups that come to mind, such as the Jaish-e-Mohammed and the Lashkar-e-Taiba, but I do want to add in the same breath that we should wait for credible evidence, which I'm sure the Indian investigating agencies will put together and then share with the appropriate authorities in Pakistan. And I think how Pakistan would respond would be a very important indicator about the next course of events as far as the bilateral is concerned. As regards why Pathankot, this is a military cantonment town. Apart from the Indian Army, it also has this important air base where we have certain fighter aircraft. So from the point of view of the terrorist groups, attacking a military target successfully would really be a case of notching up an important quote-unquote victory.
Right.
And in this case, I would say the Indian response was fairly swift and effective, that they were able to contain the attack before greater damage could be done. And I think that is the silver lining from the Indian perspective as far as the Pathankot attack is concerned.
Mr. Bhaskar, unfortunately, we're going to have to leave it there. Thank you so much for being with us. Uday Bhaskar, their director for the Society for Policy Studies.
I'm the leading state sponsor of terrorism.